Let's just talk, bro. This is literally just to get some, so everyone knows who we are.
I feel like I should be like on the Joe Rogan or something right now. Yeah. I'm drinking my Starbucks coffee.
I feel that, dog.
I never thought like I'd be like the guy filming like a talk with somebody drinking Starbucks, dude. Ever, bro. Like I never thought that was the trajectory of my life.
Dog, well, same with me, brother.
Yeah.
Same with me. So, well, let's talk, bro. So, how'd you get into lifting, bro? How'd you get into what you do?
Well, for me, man, I was always into being strong.
Yeah.
Right? Like strength has always been something that I've idolized. Like since as far back as I can remember as a kid. Like my grandpa was so strong, like ridiculously strong, dude. Like he would hold. He was about an inch shorter than me and just stout, bro. And I'd watch this man wrangle, 1,500-pound horses, bro. Like
That's that ranch strength, bro.
Exactly,
That's a cowboy strength, dog.
And he just had this wide back, and like he was just a man's man. He had that whip right there, that mustache, like just an OG looking ass dude. And that's where I like admired strength from,
Yeah.
But I mean, it even like surpassed that. Like I was the kid. This is gonna sound real weird, but I was the kid who'd like be in the library, and instead of reading just like the cool books that we were supposed to be into, right?
Yeah.
I was like looking at like the abominable snowman, seeing how big he was. I'm like, look how big this monster is. Like, that was just my thing. Through sports, I mean, I didn't really care for the sport. I liked working out. That was what I liked. For football, I mean, I was a defensive lineman, and really defense is easy. Just be strong and go find the guy with the ball. It's really easy.
Yeah. Well, you got the size for it, bro. You got the build for it.
That was just my thing, I mean, even going through some serious like drug addictions, like I always had weights at home. Even though I was doing push-ups, pull-ups, curls, stuff like that. I didn't really know much about structuring training, dude. And I didn't learn about that till I enlisted in the Marine Corps, and that was when I really got into weights. My life was on a bad path, and I had to get out of here and sign some papers. And the next thing I knew, I was like, well, I'm a Marine. I might as well look the part, So I just started beating the shit out of my arms and back every day. And then I hit my first unit, and I remember the NCOs that I checked in with, so my superiors. Yeah. I dropped in, and they're like, you work out? And you lift? And I was like, yes, I do, Corporal. I'm like, cool, well, you're going to leg day with us tonight. I had never leg dayed in my fucking life, dude. And they made me squat for like 3 hours with these, dude. Like that was my baptism into it, and they're like, damn, you're not gonna back out. And I was like, fuck no, I love it. I ain't gonna let you guys win over me. And I grew up like, a very different life, look at my tattoos, dude. It's just what I'm drawn to, so like quitting just wasn't in my nature.
I like that.
I mean, it's just that's just what got me into lifting weights. Pretty soon I learned how to structure, how to program properly. Started off with a bro split like everybody. Worked into push-pull legs, and then I learned more about. I did my first powerlifting comp as a bro lifter, and after that I was hooked. And I was like, oh no, dude! Like these dudes were moving. You guys were deadlifting 700 pounds. My buddy Bean, he was 21 years old and squatting 605 pounds. Like, when I saw him do that, I was like, I have to do that.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
That was just what turned me onto it. And then, one thing turned into another. I learned, I decided to stop being egotistical about it and hire a coach, hire a mentor. Sweet Burns, Daniel Clancy, Sweet Burns, that's Team Sweet, that's what I have here. He's the owner of Keyhole Barbell. He fathered a program called Fifth Set. And it's really just a program that follows like a concurrent periodization. You work on all 3 lifts at the same time, and all the hypertrophy work you do, it's very movement specific to the bench, squat, and the deadlift, right? But it transitions well to even anybody who plays sports, whatever, from powerlifting and beyond. And that was just what I gravitated towards. A few years later, I got certified as a Fifth Set coach through him.
That's fucking dope.
It's what I do. This is just who I am. That's how I got into lifting weights, and I'll do it till they throw dirt on me, dude.
That's cool.
It's just my thing. What about you?
Shit, bro. So I got into it. So my older brother was always in and out of prison. When I was a little kid, he was always in and out of prison. And I always saw gangsters, drugs, like bald heads, like lowriders. It's all I saw growing up,
same,
bro.
right? You live here, you have to, dog.
Yeah.
It's just the culture, bro.
And when my brother got out of prison the second time, granted, I come from a Mexican family, bro. So I'm like eating all the good food, getting fat as fuck. So I'm a little kid, I'm fat as fuck. I'm like 200 plus pounds at like 12 years old.
Carbs with grease, right? Yeah,
Dog,
dude, I know. Fideos and beans and potatoes on the side,
all
bro.
of that,
I know.
bro. All of that. Tortillas galore.
Yeah,
like
you want
everything,
tortilla to go
bro.
with it? Yeah.
So like my mom, she was always like, Mijo, like you look good, and dog, it was so bad. I had a mini fridge in my room, dog.
Oh Lord, dude.
Like, dog, I stocked that thing with like Starbucks frappes, with Reese's cups, like all the candy bars, chocolate bars, all that shit. So then my older brother gets out of prison the second time. It was like the second or third time. I'm like 11, 12 years old. My brother gets out, and he's like, him and I, we've always been super close. And he's like, Mijo, like, I'm out, like, we can finally hang out. And I'm like, fuck, cool, I'm so
that
excited.
fool got you programming real quick, didn't he?
He was like, all right, Mijo, that's the reason why I do burpees too.
Yeah,
so
same, yeah.
He got me into it. He was like, Mijo, like, we're gonna be doing, like, let's hang out. Like, you wanna come to the gym with me? And I was like, yeah, I'm down. I had no idea what the gym was, bro, at 12 years old. But I walked in there with my brother, and I was like, oh, this is heaven. Like, and the fact that I got to do it with my older brother, like, he was my mentor. He was the only reason why I got in. He's the reason why I pursued this. He's the reason why I got my career in college. Like, he's the reason why I did all of this. Like, my mom didn't want that. She wanted me to get a high-paying job. She wanted me to do, engineering or something that's gonna pay 6-7 figures a year.
Yeah.
And my brother got me into this, and every time I tried rearing off into doing something different, fitness pulled me back.
Yeah.
And I started doing burpees. I dropped a lot of weight. I dropped like 30 pounds when I was like 12 years old, 13. And then after that, I just stayed hooked. And I was like, man, I can't let myself ever get fat again. And I don't want to help anyone. I want to help everyone not be fat, not feel that kind of pain.
Yeah.
So that's how I got into it, bro.
Yeah, no, I remember that too. Like my cousin Dusty, he was like my older brother. When he got locked up the first time, it killed me, right?
Yeah.
When he got out the first time, that fool was yoked, bro. And I was like, damn, I'm trying to be like that. You know what I mean? And he just gave me some workouts to do too, like push-ups and pull-ups, and just basic shit like you, like burpees and that. You know what I mean? I had a boxing coach, and he wasn't big on lifting weights, but he was huge on calisthenics. So that kind of set the base, that's the tone.
Yeah.
And I think every kid, not just every kid, but everybody who wants to work out, I think that's what they need. They need, they just need something to start out with, something simple. Like for me, I did push-ups every day. I used to get made fun of by everybody. Like I would get, even when I first got into the Marine Corps, because all I did was push-ups. Yeah. I'd get made fun of because I was doing push-ups randomly in the middle of a course, right? Like, oh, I got like 20 minutes, cool, let's do a bunch of push-ups. And like they're like, what is this fucking dude doing? All
like,
cracked out.
Like, this dude's over here getting tripping out over here.
But I mean, that was like, it was the base, and that's probably why like I'm pretty decent at pressing, and I think everybody needs something like that to start out with. It's crazy how similar a lot of our stories are. It kind of saved you in a way. I was that chunky kid too, but man, people were fucking mean to me.
Dog, I got bullied when I was a kid too because I was fat, bro.
Yeah, they used to call me like a bad nickname. So it's like my arms get real hairy and shit. Like obviously like there with my tattoo showing or whatever. But I mean, fucking, they used to call me Mr. Harry Scary or fucking like I asked this girl to a dance once, man. And she was so gorgeous. Like I'm not gonna name drop or anything like that, but like I asked her to a dance in 8th grade, and this chick poked me in the nipple, bro, and said, "No, you're fat." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And dude, I like smiled, and her friends are all laughing, bro. Dude, I went to the bathroom and fucking bawled my eyes out, bro. Like I was like, "Did that really just happen to me?"
Fuck, bro. I feel that.
It crushed you, bro.
Dog.
So
I feel that. Like for me, dog, it was my love handles, dog. So I always was like, I was so self-conscious, bro. So every time I'd eat, I'd be like, my love handles back. And like it got to the point where I'm like, oh, like my love handles are fat, and I'm like, oh my gosh, all these girls are looking at me all like, oh, he's fat, oh, he's got love handles, oh, he's not attractive, and that was my thought process, bro, and I hated it. And then like I couldn't deal with that, bro. I'd always wear 2 shirts, bro, because I was always self-conscious, dog. I would wear my white shirt underneath to cover all my fat, and then I'd wear a normal shirt over it.
And it made you look fatter, right?
Shit, I thought it would make me look skinnier, bro. That was my thing.
That was my trick too, bro. God. Yeah. I was like, and the whole time, like, you're dying of sweat underneath, and now you stink, and you're all chunky, right?
Yeah, like, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, dude, my mom would be like, she's like, why are you always wearing a sweater? And I want to tell her because I'm cold, but really it's just like, these fuckers poke fun of my fat, dog. Like,
they were like, what are you talking about, titties? Get over here.
Yeah, that's what I know, bro. It's terrible. It's fucking terrible. They used to fucking flip my nipple like that.
Oh,
like,
bean dip?
Yeah, bean dip.
Yeah, dog. Oh, that was, I
couldn't
hated
stand that shit, man. I think
hated that.
so. Like at first, it turned into like not wanting to be fat, right?
Yeah.
You know, I think every kid kind of goes through that. Every man or woman, anybody who's self-conscious goes through that.
Yeah, of course.
I think where the difference between you and me is I learned that there's a way to be fat and be badass.
Yeah.
You know, like don't get me wrong, I don't glorify like morbid obesity or anything like that, but like there's a season for everything.
Yeah.
You know, there's a season for getting thick. There's a season for getting slim. You know, and like there's gives and takes with it.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to be stronger, you want to put on more muscle. Well, you got to eat more. You got to get a little fluffy, dude.
You know.
But when you have muscle, it looks good, you
Yeah.
know, and like when you want to cut, you got to sacrifice some strength, but you're gonna look real sexy,
Yeah.
you know. So like I think that's why I drew towards powerlifting the most, because like I'm always gonna be a bigger dude, you know. Like, even when I'm cut up, you know, it's just I'm a bigger guy, and it's just my genetics. But I think that's what powerlifting kind of did for me. It showed me that you can still do real cool shit. I mean, look at Mike Tyson, man. Like Mike Tyson was a thick boy, you know, but he was still cut up enough, and he outboxed everybody in his prime. You know, like that was like what turned me on to it, you know, like boxing, lifting weights, stuff like that. It wasn't just about losing the fat anymore. It turned into performance. Yeah. So like that's what I like to do for my clients now. Like I like to get them out of the everybody goes to that body dysmorphia phase, you know. It's a bitch, dude, you know. But like once you get to a certain point, like it's almost hit or miss, bro. You either have that body dysmorphia day or you have a god complex. You know, like it's like, am I gonna be humble or am I gonna be self-conscious today? Which one?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, exactly.
So like anything I can do to show people that performance, you can't argue with numbers and performance. You know, like looks are subjective, but you cannot argue with the numbers. You can't. It's impossible.
Yeah. And I'm always joking around. I'm like, nah. Like Angel will be like, baby, like, can you lift this? I'm like, oh fuck it. Fuck, I don't have my real strength. I have my gym strength on right now. I have my gym muscles. I got my gym muscles right now, baby.
terrible.
But it's like, but you're the reason why I started even pushing heavier weights, dog. Like powerlifting even more. Like obviously I wouldn't consider it powerlifting, but
putting in compounds like that, right? Less isometric stuff.
Heavier lifts, dog, like increasing my strength. Because I do more hypertrophy. I love getting big. I love having muscles, but I want muscles that go. And like, I see your shit, and I'm like, God, this fool's fucking strong as fuck.
Yeah, and the whole time, like, I'm really just thinking, like, everybody's like, damn, you're fucking strong, and like, I wish you guys could be in my head, bro, because the whole time I'm thinking, you fucking bitch, you can't lift this shit, you fucking puss. Like, I'm just going to battle with myself every time, dude.
Yeah.
You know, it's like everybody thinks, like, they're all like, oh, well, you're probably in a very healthy mental state, and the whole time it's like, dude, I'm really not. I'm not at all, bro. Like,
see, with me in my head, I'm like, stop being a little bitch, like, just fucking lift that shit. I'm like, you're strong as fuck. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, don't be a little bitch. Yeah. And then with all my people, I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, strong. You ain't no bitch. And I'm like, I'm the same, but I'm more intense with myself. And then when it comes to like Angel, like I'm like, all right, baby, like you're strong as fuck. Like I'll push her too, but yeah, like for me, dog, like I gotta be like ruthless in my head. I'm like, dude, stop being a little bitch.
Yeah,
like,
dude,
what would your kids think if you had kids right now? Like, oh, fuck no.
No, I feel you, dude. I feel you 100%. Yeah, like I think so. What kind of changed the stigma for like the look versus performance for me was like my buddy Bean. So I brought him up earlier. Yeah. This man, he was a dude who kind of helped take me under when I hit the fleet. You know, when I first got to my unit, and this dude was huge, bro. Like I'm not even kidding. Like he wasn't like ridiculously fat. He had like a little numbing pouch or whatever, right? But like he was a natural athlete. Of course, he's gonna look a little thick. This man was like 260 pounds, dude, and he ran a sub 3 mile 18 minuter.
Holy
he was
shit.
fucking so fast. Squatted 605. He could bang out 20 pull-ups. He benched 365 easy. He pulled 585 off the floor like with nobody's business. Like he's kind of like, he's like, damn, like everybody would say this dude's some fat body, right? And then when they see him perform, it's like, oh shit, this motherfucker's about it, you know. And I think that's what like I wanted to embrace that performance, right? And like, but like I understand the importance of a good nutrition plan and shit like that. I think that's why I like powerlifting, right? It's like it's one of those things where you have to only be confident in your performance, because if it's time to go up a weight class, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Unless you're blasting gear in like an untested federation, you have to. But even if you are in an untested federation, you have to put on more weight if you want to move certain amounts of weight on in certain lifts, right? Like I noticed for me when I'm heavier, so like when I was like 250, 260, when I was at like my peak bulk, that was huge, man. That was misery. But I mean, like I was able to squat, 15 pounds more than I do now, but my deadlift suffered because I couldn't wedge into those positions as easy. My bench was a lot better, probably because I was thicker and there wasn't as much distance to travel between my my tits in the bar, right? But you know, like it was just it's manipulation of body weight, you know. So I kind of I respect both, you know. Like I love the art of bodybuilding, but I also love the training of powerlifting. It's more physically demanding, at least in my opinion. You know, like it's less about carving a look. It's more about looking like you can fuck shit up, but actually doing it.
Yeah,
you know?
actually being
yeah. And the two are not mutually exclusive. When you look at the top powerlifters in the world right now, I mean, like they look like serious athletes. I mean, Dan Bell, he's squatted over 1,000 like fucking 15 times, you know, and he's a big ass dude, but when he takes off his shirt, he's got that turtle shell belly, you know what I mean? Like everybody would look at him head on and close and be like, look at this fat bastard, and he takes off his shirt, he's got, you know, a turtle shell as a belly, you know, and it's like, that's what attracted me to it, you know. My dad would watch, my dad was like a really big dude, like, not like crazy ripped, he was just like, he was very stocky, very big, and he was a forest firefighter.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and so like he would hike for miles, and like his legs were fucking huge, man, and like he was just this beast, you know. He was a thick man, but just so beast. And we would watch strongman competitions with each other, and he'd be like, I would do that with, you know, my crew and shit like that. And I was like, damn, like, I think this is where I'm at. I'm always gonna be a big dude. I might as well use it to my advantage, right?
Exactly.
You know, so you know, that's what got me into it, man. Just learn. It became less of losing weight and more into learning how I can make my weight work for me, you know. And yeah, I'll take a little bit of some pudge on me if it means that I can throw, you know, 3 wheels around on bench easy. Of course I'll do that.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm closing in on, you know, a 4-wheel bench hopefully within this year. You know? So
okay, good shit,
hopefully, I'm hoping that'll, you know, give me the confidence I need to say, you know what, you're all right, dude.
Yeah.
Probably won't, because the first time I benched 3 wheels, I thought the same thing. And I saw some dude repping it. I was like, well, I got to do that now.
Well, now you're like, fuck it. There's always levels to it, bro.
Always,
like,
yeah.
You always got to get to the people, be around the people who are doing what you want and how they live. Like, that's one thing. And like for me, like now that I've been around you more, like I've seen your content, I'm like, fuck, like, damn, I look weak as fuck. Like I can't even pull like 225 on. Well, I can't pull 225. Like, fuck, like I want to lift more. And it's always like that little fear in the back of my mind, because I herniated my discs, my lower back years ago, and I think we talked about that last time.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit.
And it's like, it's always that little fear. I'm like, no, what if you hurt yourself? I'm like, dude, stop. I just squatted the other day, like 5 sets of 5 for 315.
Yeah, it's bad.
Felt solid. My depth was fine. I was like, cool, we're getting up there. Now I'm like, okay, now we can start building some more strength.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think that's a big problem, not just in, you know, powerlifting, but in the fitness community in general, really just in life, man. Like people always want to compare themselves to somebody else, you know, and it's like that's totally not what we're about, at least in my division of things. Like it's just like there's people in powerlifting competitions who are, you know, they're grown ass adults, and you know their PR is squatting 185 pounds. And like to some, like the bro lifter community, but that's only 185 pounds. It's like, dude, like that was a fucking PR for them. Like, can you not just be happy for them? Like, it doesn't really matter. Like when you're in a comp, dude, it doesn't matter if you're the biggest guy or the smallest guy. If you're putting, you know, the biggest weight or the smallest weight, we're all cheering for each other, dude. Because like I don't think people understand like how physically and mentally grueling, emotionally even, the toll that it takes to go like set up for a powerlifting comp. Number one, you're in this fucking singlet, right? That like you look puffy in, you know, you're like, damn, I'm all sweaty, I got chalk all over, I stink, my fucking dick's all poked out against this, you know. And you're standing in front of all these people about to lift some weight, and none of them care about what you look like. They're just like, this guy is gonna, you can tell he's ready to work, you know. And like that's what the beauty of my area, you know, of powerlifting, you know, like, because it's about how you perform and how well you are with that barbell. You know, like we love to see that. Fuck the looks, man. Like my favorite comps are like the comps are like people with disabilities that, you know, go to powerlift. There was this kid with like serious polio, right, or spinosis, something like that. And man, he squatted 135 pounds, and you could tell it was the most taxing thing he ever did. He was all walking all crooked. He's going to try to put it up. And that fucking place erupted when he lifted it up. Like,
my
that fucking kid threw it, bro. You know, like, and it's like there's people who are, you know, curling that real easy, right? But like nobody cares, because that was his PR, dude. That was he left everything on that fucking platform, you know, and like that's the beauty
what I love.
of it,
and
yeah.
like I've tried transitioning a lot of my coaching, like because in the beginning, yeah, it's like obviously like how you look and this and that, but I started transitioning a lot of it to like I've told all my clients this all the time. I'm like, listen, I don't care about your numbers. I don't care about your weight. Like what you're pushing. Like, if it's hard for you, it's hard for you.
Yeah.
Get to where you feel like fuck, like you're so proud, because I'm proud of you because I know where you started from.
Yeah.
I know where you started from, and I know how it felt to like go up 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 20 pounds, and it's like it's that progression. You're like fuck, like you're getting stronger, you're improving, you feel good, like that's
because even the coach was that person at one point in time, dude.
Yeah, and I tell all my people, like I've had people who are like oh, this is like way compared to what you might do, and I'm like I don't give a fuck, like you are doing what is hard for you. Like I want you to put your whole heart into this. Like I've told all my clients that I go, like when I hop on like the coaching calls or whatever, or even in person, I'm like, I don't care about this. Like if it's hard for you, it's hard for you, and I'm gonna be proud, and I'm gonna pump you, and I'm gonna fucking be right there next to you, seeing you progress and put up those numbers.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because I want you to get that strength that you want. And, you know, I don't care about like I lifted at one point, like Mr. Like fucking Arnold. He was there at 1.2.
Yeah, everybody was. Everybody who started out and was one of the greats started off as that insecure motherfucker who didn't think they were about anything.
And it's just like when they see everyone who's already doing very well, and they're killing it, they're like, oh, well, I bet he never struggled. No, he did.
He probably struggled more than you did.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it's like he probably went through a lot more negative shit than most people do anyway. And that's what I tell all my clients. I'm like, guys, like, I just care if it's hard for you. I don't care what the numbers are. Like, if it's hard for you, it's hard. Like, you're gonna get stronger. You're gonna progress. And that's the thing. And I've transitioned a lot of my training to that because I'm like, oh, we got to get you to a 215. I'm like, no. What's your goal? What do you want? How strong do you want to get? How big do you want to get? And then they tell me, and I'm like, all right, cool. Well, this is the plan. This is how we're gonna get there. And there's always setbacks because there's never a straight line, dog.
No, it's exactly. I think a lot of people think that when you are reaching like a happy point in your life, right? Like there's some giant peak, like a giant pinnacle, you know. And I think what people fail to realize is like steady progression and like that good feeling, right? It's a steady climb, dude. Like there's little tiny divots and going up and down, but there's no massive fucking highs and lows, dude. Like no, it's never like that. When you hit a PR, there is, but then it's back to the drawing board, you know, and you got to keep going. There's always something to be working on. You
got one peak, now it's time to get to the next one.
Yeah, no,
then you get to that one, then it's like the next one. It's always the next step.
Yeah, no, and that's that. I'm glad you said that too, because sometimes I think people think that because you're at a standstill, like a plateau, so to speak, not just necessarily, in lifting, but in every area of your life, when you get a plateau, people are like, well, I'm not making progress. That means I'm regressing. And it's like, no, dude, no, it doesn't. It means that your body needs time to catch up. It means that you, like, something is going on that you're not fully appreciating or valuing what is going on in your life right now, dude. Like, you need to just be fucking present, be consistent, understand what you're doing, and you're gonna get to that next step, dude. Like, it comes, for me, like, I was so insecure when I was like the guy out of the group who couldn't throw up 3 wheels, right? Like I could throw up 295, but as soon as I made that 5-pound jump to 315, I was like, I fucking can't do it. Everybody around me is doing it. All my friends are doing it, right?
Yeah.
And then one day, like, my coach told me, he's like, dude, like, one day it's just there. And no shit, it was there. Like, it was literally, like, from 1 week to the next, it might have just been like a maturity thing, like a body maturity thing. Yep. I went from not being able to touch 3 wheels to fucking, throwing around 3 or 4 reps. Now, I'm at a steady 6 reps or so, like it moves up, dude, it's just, it's one of those things that comes with time and consistency. Like, I think a lot of people think that when something isn't working the way they want it to, they want to scrap the plan and redraw it. It's like, no, dude, just stick to the script. It will fucking work. You just got to give it time.
Yes, and that's what a lot of people like. And even in my industry, so it's like in my specific realm, it's like, everyone wants it now. I want my abs now. And I was like, no, like, you can't reverse like 5, 10, 15 plus years of damage. Like, you have to do this progressively. Like, this, if you go jump gung-ho into all this shit that you want to do, and I can give it to you all, but I'm not going to, but if you do it, you're going to crash and burn. Like, I got to give you small steps to build on. Like, all right, do this. All right, well, how's your eating? Oh, well, it's like this. Okay, cool. Well, how many times do you work out? Oh, well, like maybe 2 times a week. All right, cool. Well, let's bump it up to 2. Let's bump it up to 4 times a week. Increase your protein. That's all I want. Yeah. And then it's just like progressive. Sometimes I'll be like, cool, you're going to work out 6 days straight. Commit, like, yeah, I want this. All right, cool. 6 days straight. Here are your macros. Get as close as you can. this is for the long haul. This is just the beginning. Then there's a reverse period, and then we get you to maintenance, and then you can stay there forever.
Yeah, I know.
But it's just that progression where it's like it's progress over perfection.
It's not. Yeah, I like to tell my clients the same thing. It's not making changes; it's making habits.
Yeah,
habits. Habits are really hard to break. You know? And once you get used to doing something all the time, you know, well. Yeah. You don't fuck it up. It's a part of your life. How are you gonna fuck it up?
Like, how many times did it take you to tie your shoes?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Many times until it becomes a habit.
Now you look at kids who can't tie their shoes, and you're like, "What? Look at this loser! You can't even tie his shoes."
Like, come on, it's simple. It's just like little like this. Oh, okay, and then they do it over and over and over and over until it becomes a habit. And that's how habits are formed. And a lot of people don't get there. Like, oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. All right, cool. Well, how's your mindset? How are your habits? Like, oh well. I do this, and this. I'm telling you right now, dog, you're not gonna last that long. Like, let's pump your brakes a little. Like, step back. Like, this is a progression. Like, that's all I want you to do. Focus on just this. That's it.
See, it's funny because like I can totally understand that and relate to because that's how I teach, right? But that's not at all how I got taught. You know?
Same.
Like when I got taught,
I got thrown into the fire.
Thrown into it. Like, dude, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I thought like I was big and bad, acting a fool out here in these streets with my homies and shit, right? And then I got to boot camp, dude, and I was like, these are fucking killers, man. Like, I was that guy who's like, nah, I'm not gonna take their shit, right?
Yeah.
I took every ounce of it, bro. They fucked me up, man. Like, it was just a drastic change. Like, I went from running maybe 1 or 2 times a week to fucking running getting miles and miles a day, push-ups, pull-ups, hundreds every day. You know, like, learned from bad-mouthing everybody and talking back and popping off on somebody to like, oh fuck, shut up, dude, just listen to this dude, like let him blast your ass out, and get to the unit. It's the same thing. Like, I mean, you gotta love it in order to want to do it for a long time, much less coach it. Like when I was in my first unit, my life was simple. I woke up 4 a.m, fucking got ready in whatever uniform we were working out in. I'd go PT with my guys, come back, get showered over, get some food in me, get some chow, right? Get to work like fucking 12, 13-hour days. Wow. And in North Carolina, dude, that it's hot year-round in that motherfucker, dude. Like, it's so bad. It's like 96 degrees with the heat index, or the humidity index bringing it to like 120, dude. It's ridiculous, right? Wow. So I'd be working all fucking day after working out in the morning, and then I'd still go to the gym after that, because that was just my vision. I was with my boys, like, we were like, no, you will fucking work out outside of work. Like, there was no option.
If ands or buts about it.
If this PT isn't gonna cover it, dude. Like, you're gonna go lift some fucking weights. You're gonna go on rucks with your boys. You're gonna it was brutal. Like, I remember working out is like a blessing to me, right? Like, I love it, right?
Yeah.
But it's also a way of punishment. I think it's a way of earning something. Like, at least when I was still in, dude, that was how you were punished. Like, we did more PT. Like, somebody wasn't saying something, like, wasn't responding to like an order or something like that. Fuck it, drop your shit. We're going on a run. You know what I mean? Like, drop your shit. We're doing burpees. We got those ammo cans. We're pressing them. Like, it was shit like that. And like, that was punishment. Like, I remember we had these Marines that were just very undisciplined for the point they should have been in their career, right? And my buddy Matt and my buddy Reagan, dude, we are like, what are we gonna do with them? We're gonna take them on a ruck. This is July in North Carolina, dude. Like, it's fucking hot. It's 3 p.m. at that, dude. We went on a 9-mile ruck march with like fucking 70 pounds on our back, just hauling out, running ass down the trail, down the tank trails, through the trees, all this shit. We had people, like, we had to call Casovacs because people were passing out from the heat and shit, dude. Like, it was bad, But that was when I asked him, I was like, so why are we doing this? What happened? And very simply put, my buddy Matt looks at me, he's like, because fuck them, that's why. I was like, okay, cool, let's ride on, let's do it. Like, that was how I got thrown into it. Like, I had a junior who was very disrespectful to his incident. I'm trying to break this down in ways that I'm not cussing too much, right?
Like, I feel that,
But so I said, he's like, hey, I want to work out with you, Corporal. I was like, okay. And everybody looked at him and were like, dude, you're dead. Like, you shouldn't have said that. And I took him to leg day with me, and like it became personal because he was a little shit, and he's a real good friend now, but like, this was just my action at the time. And this dude, legitimately, I brought him to tears, right? And like, when you're in, like, it's like one of those things, like, you want to see everybody win, right? But there's this rivalry between everybody in that shop too, like in that unit, right? And you're just like, I got him to cry. You know, I took his soul. You know, like I took his shit. You know, and that was something. So that's something like when I train with people, when I'm training with partners. That's what I feel off of. Like, you know, like I want to see you win, but I'm gonna whoop your ass as long as I could too, or you might whoop my ass. You know, like, it's just constant battling up and down, up and down. But that's how you become competitive. It's how you get good at it.
Yeah.
So like I'm actually really glad that I don't do it like that anymore, because I don't think that'd fly too well out here, dude. But like, it's like you said, it's better to take little steps and show little habits.
It's like there's some people that can handle that. They can handle the
compression, right? Compression versus compassion.
Yeah, exactly. I'm very compassionate. And I train like 80% women, dog. So it's like I've learned to be very compassionate with all my women, like all my clients.
Oh yeah, I'm the opposite, dude.
And see, like I'm once we build that relationship, and I'm like, all right, cool. Like, how do you feel? How's this? And like, hey, like, you know what? Like, I'm on. You know, this is my time. I'm like, it's cool. I get it. We'll take a step back. Just chill. Next week we'll come back and we're gonna fucking demolish it. And then after that, it's just straight compression. But I've gotten better at compression because I've always been a softie, bro. I've always been a softie. Like I can't be intense.
Sometimes it's just not. It's not that it's not in you, but it's just not how you were taught. Right? You know what I mean? It's not how you want to teach.
Exactly. I want my clients to feel comfortable, and a lot of my clients are like, wow. I'm like, why do you train with me? Like, well, you know what? You're the first person. It doesn't make me feel creeped out. Like you're actually checking me out. I'm like,
oh yeah, dude. Well, dude, there's so many trainers and coaches that give a bad name for that.
Yes, and I'm like,
I can't
you're my
stand
client.
That shit,
I'm here to kick your ass in the gym. I'm not here to check you out. Like, dude. I'm happily taken. And even if I'm not, I'm happily taken because I'm not interested in you. To me, you are my client. You're a friend. You're a great fan. You eventually could become family. But at this point, I'm not interested in you. I don't care about you like that,
man. Yeah, it's you get man, I get clients like that. I get female clients who are just like, my last trainer, he just got really too handsy with me and this and that. I'm like, dude, like, who are these fucking creeps, man? Like, it's like, bro, like, this is like, these people are trusting you with like their job, and you're out here trying to get some cheeks out here, bro. Like, what is your problem, bro?
That's the shit that drives me nuts.
Man, it's embarrassing.
Yes, it gives us a bad name because it's like, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to kick your ass and make you better. But all these other fools are out here acting all stupid.
Yeah, I felt bad, dude, because I had a client who actually they put the moves on me. Right? She was like, "Oh, I kind of like you." I'm like, I'm your coach. You know? Like, I don't fuck my clients, right? You know, like, it's not happening.
No,
bro.
it's like, get out of here.
Yeah, like, they were like, "Well, what if I wasn't your client anymore?" I'm like, nope, still not, because you were my client at one point. Like, maybe like it'd have to be like a year or so away. Yeah. Like, at least let the clause and the fucking paperwork get thrown in the back.
Let it die a little, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like, I had a client like that too, and I was like, damn, like I can't work with you anymore. Like, this is a professional environment. Like, I'm here to help you improve. You know, help you feel better in your skin, help you love your body, help you do all these things that she wanted. Yeah. And then she's like, well, how long is this serious? And I'm like, yes, I'm very serious. My relationship is serious, but this, like, I can't do this anymore. Yeah. And you just have to cut them out. It's like, this is a professional thing. Like, I'm here to whoop your ass, and I'm here to make you better. I'm not here to fuck around. Literally.
Well, I think a lot of, guys, they just become trainers to do that, Like,
I've known a few, and I'm like,
yeah, no, it's not a good thing. The mixing pleasure with business is never a good thing. I think the other problem with it too is there's not clear boundaries that are set. Yes. Right. Like, you're always gonna have some people who want to cross the line, and there's other people putting up like a bad name out there. But that's why I went into business for myself, right? Because like, I don't want to be a part of a gym that has a bunch of creeps and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to just work out with some client that isn't who I want to teach. I'm all about people bettering their lives, right?
Yeah, of course.
But I can be compassionate, right? Yeah. I have a daughter. I had to learn how to be very compassionate, right? But when it comes to coaching grown ass adults, right? Like, I'm very much so a compressionist. Like, it's like, if I see that you're not giving me 100% effort, I'll fucking make sure you're giving me 100% effort. You know what I mean? And it's a hit or miss with clients, dude. So like, I think a lot of even some of the male clients, like, when they feel that from me, they're like, oh shit, like,
serious?
Is he like mad at me? And it's like, I'm not mad at you, I swear. I'm just like, I'm coaching you right now. That's it. And as soon as we're done, it's like, yeah, dude, like, okay,
it's a different set.
Yeah, dude. It's like, you have to turn it on, turn it off, dude. Yeah, exactly.
And it's funny because Angel, a long time ago when I was still at a big box gym, she was like, she would see me sometimes training, and she'd be like, you changed into someone different. She's like, you look literally different when you're training someone. Like, the way you're standing, the way you're talking, the way you're instructing, like, you are so different. She's like I find that sexy, and I'm like, yeah, that's right, baby.
Yeah, no, I get told I look scary. I don't know. I used to work with you.
I see you there.
People will tell me, they're all like, "Yeah, you look fucking terrifying." And
shit, they're gonna pump me up. I'm like, "Fuck, I'm gonna push my people harder too."
The whole time I'm thinking in my head about like penguins dancing or something like that. Dude, like I'm like, dude, I swear to God, like, I'm not all fucked up, man. I'm not.
It's like I promise, it's not always 100. Like,
I like to be gentle, dude. You know, like when I have to be. At the same time, and if it's time to turn it on, we'll do that, bro. You know, but I think who you attract as a client, or at least on your end, from my observations from you attract people who not only do they want to better themselves, but they appreciate that value that you bring to their table. You know what I mean? At least like and I've only ever seen you work from afar, dude. You know what I mean? And we both kind of came from the same community, GP with fucking Wes, shout out to Wes Watson for, putting us on gang to be fucking trainers and shit, dog. But, I think that's, you bring your own uniqueness, man, and I think that's why I gravitated towards you, like as not just as a fellow trainer or coach, but as a boy, dog. Like, you're cool, man. You're fucking real. You give credit when credit's due. Me, I won't tell you good job unless you fucking earned it. You know, like last night, like I was messaging one of my clients because she sends me she's an online class, so she sends me her videos virtually of her doing certain lifts, right? And she's been struggling so hard with technique on the deadlift, right? And she's been getting 8 out of 10 points. I graded on a 10-point system, right? I like to do 4, but she's in a different realm, so 10 right now is good. And last time, this is 100% better, I told her. She's like, what would you grade it? I'm like, 9 out of 10. She's like, what the fuck? Why wasn't it a 10? I was like, because you're still fucking this little piece up. She's like, I will have that 10. And I was like, I know you will, but that's still really good, because it's really hard to get a 9 out of 10 for me, dude. Like, if I don't even give myself a fucking 10 out of 10 ever in any of my lifts, right? And I do them better than my clients do, right? Like, I'm gonna give you the credit that's deserved, but I'm not gonna fucking just overdo it. Like, I'm not like, oh, that's okay, buddy. No, I like to tell them, do you know why you fucked that up? And they look at me and they're all like, oh, I fucked that up. And I'm like, yes, he did. Yeah. It was still good, but you fucked it up. They don't know how to take that.
And it's funny because like I have clients too whenever we're training, or like just mainly my in-person clients. Like they're like oh yeah, like how'd that look? And I'm like it looked good. Just tweak this a little. And it's like, and
the whole time you want to tell them that was fucking terrible.
And I'm like, it was good, but let's tweak this. I don't want you to hurt your back. Like, oh, okay, cool. Sometimes I'm like, yo, what the hell? Like tighten up. And as they're doing it, I'm like, no, focus here. And they're like, oh, okay, focus here. And I'm like, oh, what does that mean? One of my guys, dog. This dude was dope client. He's still one of my clients, but now he went online. And I remember, dog, whenever he'd have to do like deadlifts, I'd be like, bro, pull the bar. Pull. Don't let it pull you. And he's like, oh, okay. And he's pulling, but I'm like, no, like pull with your shoulder blades. Bring it back. He's like, how? And I'm like, pretend there's a pencil between your shoulder blades. And he's like, oh. I'm like, okay, now your back is partially straight. Now we got to straighten this part. And it was just like those little cues that I'm like, okay. And still, like, now he's good. Now he knows how to deadlift correctly. Obviously he's not like lifting stupid amounts, but he's lifting
safely. Right?
He's lifting safely. He's lifting good. He's lifting with proper form. He looks good. He feels good. He's happy. It's just little things, bro. Sometimes you want to be a little like, the fuck.
So for me, this is something you can put in your tool bag if you want, dude. But like, so I use a Q list, right? A Q checklist, and I got it from my coach. And I'll send you some of his videos. You can check out what he puts out. But Swede, he taught me there's cue lists that you have to follow in each lift. So let's talk about the deadlift. We're just talking about the deadlift, right? So it all begins very simple by putting your feet in the proper position, right? Now some people are like, well, should I stand wider? Should I stand narrower? Should I go sumo? It's really up, like, it depends on your leverages, right? But like a simple test that I have people do is I have them just jump up in the air and land down. And wherever they land, your body naturally lands itself in a position that it's most stable. Exactly. So when I tell them to make the bar cut their feet in half, right? They look at me and they're like, okay, I'll do that. And then I say, okay, now I want you to bend your knees, just your knees, not your hips, right? Just your knees until you feel that your shins hit the bar. When they feel it hit, I'm like, all right, now don't bend your knees anymore. I want you to use your hips to bend down and grab the bar. And so they're like, trying to figure it out without bending their knees. And when they get it there, then I'm like, okay, now I want you to take your arms, and all I want you to do is turn your elbows in and pull your shoulders down. We call it packing the scaps, right? Packing the scapula.
Yeah, I like that.
And so they're all like, like this, and like they always like they pull their shoulders back like this, and like negative. Pull your shoulders down. And so like pretend that there is a string between your hips and your shoulders. Shorten it. And so when they do that, it was like they tell them, okay, now I want you, when you do this simultaneously, I want you to take a big breath in, you expand your trunk, right? Feel the whole core there. And I want you to just sit back, right? Like don't pull it up, just pull back. So they do that. They pack down, fill their air up, they pack their scaps, and when they sit back, the bar floats up off the ground. And I was like, what are you doing? And they look at me and they're like, I didn't mean to lift it. I'm like, so you braced proper and the bar came up, right? And they're all like, yeah, it did. I'm like, so what does that tell you? And they're like, well, that the brace is the most important part. That's right, man. Like, pack the scaps, fill your air up, keep your neck neutral, and pull the slack. That's all it is. And I always tell them, like, listen to the bar hit the plate. You'll hear this little click. Yeah. Right? When you hear that click, then you power up. Yep. That's when you're shooting it up. And like I always tell people with the deadlift, man, like, you're not pulling the deadlift with your back. Like, yes, your back is very much involved, but when you get the bar up off the ground, all you're doing is cueing your glutes. You're squeezing them forward. Yeah, right? You're driving that force forward. Yeah, exactly. It's glutes to bar to hips. Yep. You know, I mean, that's how I like to explain it. Yep. And so when they get this cue list, right, they're like, okay, so wedge, air, pack the scaps, up. Very simple, and that it works every fucking time, dude. Like, and I think a lot of people, they think like, just fucking lift it. I'm like, yes, just lift it, but lift it in a manner that's not gonna kill you, right? Like, because like you hurt your back a while back, right? You fucked your disc up. So like for me, like I went through a lot of that shit too. Like, so I used to rodeo. I used to you know, break horses and shit like that too. Sick. And I had a horse flip over. Oh, dude, I've done so much shit in my life. It's crazy. So I had you wouldn't even believe my life. I lived the life of a 40-year-old man, dude. I swear. So I had a horse flip over on me, like straight up in the sky. Yeah. On top of me in the box. Oh. I couldn't walk for like 4 fucking days. Right? Like my legs just wouldn't work. Yeah. And I have like a giant curve in my spine. Like I have a screw in my ankle because another horse flipped over on top of me. Like, so I don't have like all the mobility that I should and shit like that. You know, look at my wrist, dude. You know, they've been operated on. My fingers and hands have been crushed. Like, I've broken like every bone in my body basically. And so like cues are very important for me to safely lift the weight. So if I can transfer that to somebody who's perfectly healthy, right? Like imagine what I can do. They're bulletproof, dog. Exactly, dude. Exactly. Bulletproof. Yeah. I mean, it's just like cue lists like that. The most I want to get you the most information as possible with like as little tweaks as I can get in there, right? Like for the squat, air, neck, brace, squat. Okay, well, what does that mean? Air in your belly, neck is neutral, brace, pull down your scaps, squat. That's it. I just got all that across for you, and I did it in a few words. Yep. You know, so I think that's what I like about cue list the most. You know, simplicity. You know? Sometimes it's better to be simple, dog. Yeah, no, absolutely. Less is more. That's right, dude. Less is more. Less is more. My mom would always tell me that, bro. And it's funny because like whenever I talk about like less is more, I'm always thinking like, what could I do? How can I make this simple? How can I make this simple for me, but also simple for my clients so they know like, okay, well, I don't need you to be doing a whole lot of shit. Like, it's simple. Like what we're doing in the gym is simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. Just do this, bring this kind of intensity, feel your body out, listen to your body, pay attention. Oh yeah, dude, especially that part, man. Like, especially in the fitness community now, it's like, no, it doesn't matter how you feel. You got to go hard every day, this and that. And it's like, bro, like you do got to put effort into everything that you do, right? Yeah. But it's controlled. It's controlled chaos, knowing what to go all out on, what to focus on. Like some people think that lifting the most amount of weight, like muscle fucking it, as I like to call it, like just fucking eating stuff up. It's like, all right, I want you to tell me what you accomplished there. And they're like, well, I just moved all that weight. I'm like, right, but what hurts? Like my back. I'm like, what were you working? My arms. I'm like, what the fuck? What did you accomplish there? You know, sometimes it's about activation, not annihilation. Yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah, it's like know what to go all out on. That's why I like my model of training, because if I set some Joe Blow up on a fucking program of mine, the first thing I get when they see that it's like a 3-day-a-week split, and they're like, this isn't enough for me. I'm like, why? And they're like, well, I'm never going to get to a 315 bench with this, or I'm never going to get to a 405 squat with this. I'm like, the guy who squats 500 is plenty for him. And he looks at me like, oh, I guess you're right. And I'm like, well, why don't you just have some faith in it, right? So like, and I put in parameters that they can have that all out feeling. Like, you know, the methodology that I run myself, you know, fifth set, it's literally called fifth set because on the fifth set you do an all-out AMRAP. So it allows you to get that full fucking burn of exhaustion, right? Yeah. But there's parameters put in that AMRAP that, like, you know, safety parameters, like, okay, well, your chest can't fall down in the bench, right? Like, you got to keep your shoulder blades retracted, and you got to reach with your belly every time, right? And then as soon as technique is compromised, right, when I see that you're just fucking trying to motherfucking, you're going all out like this, I'm like, rack that shit. But you feel a lot more accomplished because you recruited more muscle fibers proper to that movement, right? So you're already exhausted. Exactly. But now all you got to do is burn out the accessories. And it, honestly, when you're at that point of fatigue, you just want to contract anyways, those accessories, you know? Because like, you'd be surprised, like, I can do more damage to you with a 5-pound dumbbell than you can do with 40-pound dumbbells. You know what I mean? That's what I like.
All my people tell me that. They're like, I'm not scared of the 40 pounds, 50 pounds you give me. I'm scared of the 5s, the 7s, the 10s. And I'm like, yeah, because you're teaching them to isolate a certain movement, right? And they're like, holy shit! But like people think you gotta fucking make, you know, rear delt 5s with 60 pounds. It's just because you can doesn't mean you should. Like, you're putting more mileage on your shit, and you're not getting anything done. But if I give you a pair of 10s or 20s, right, and I tell you I want you to lift up explosively, hold it there for 2 counts, and then a 4 count on the way back. It's a muscle this big, dude. Like, trust me, you're not moving a bunch of weight with that one muscle. It's because you're fucking throwing it back that you think you're moving all this weight. You know? Hands down.
It's like you said, less is more, dude.
Less is more.
It all depends what you're trying to accomplish, I guess, right? But you know,
of course,
everybody just sees these beasts and wants to compare themselves to that. It's like, do you look like them? No. Then why don't we just work on you for now until you look like them, and then we can have some fun. You know?
It's like, focus on this, dog. Like, trust me, I know what I'm doing. They're like, well, okay. I'm like, just look at me. Like, I'm not saying I look amazing, but I look better than most. Like, you know, like in a way where I'm like, listen, I know what I'm talking about. I know I can help you get to this. Like, I know I can help you with this. Like, I'm not trying to be egotistical. I'm just helping.
I don't say look at me because I don't want them to look at me. Dude, I'm telling you, this extroversion is like I'm not naturally like a people person. I just like helping people, but I don't like the fact that I have to associate with them to do it. I like to be the fucking left the fuck alone, dude. Honestly. But I mean,
I'm a
like
people person for sure. I'm loud.
And I'm good with people when I interact with them, right? It's just I don't seek it out. You know, like it's got to come to me, dude. And then I'll greet it. But so like I think that's I don't want them to look. I want them to look at athletes they look up to. Right? So I was coaching this running back once, and he's like, well, I don't know if your program's gonna get me where I want to go. I'm like, dude, let me show you what my programming, like the program that I'm certified to teach in. Let me show you what it can do. So I showed him like sample teams, right? Like there was a football team just recently that used our methodology, just the AMRAPs and the MSMs, right? This is with their football training and all that. So basically they lifted 3 times a week. That was it. And most football coaches have their guys in the weight room fucking 6 days a week. You know, having them do fuck all but fuck their shit up. You know. So this team as a team put on 2,500 pounds on their totals combined. And they improved their run times just based off of the squats and the deadlifts. And one of those was a technique protocol, so they're only doing sets of 3. You know, like, it's effective. You just got to let it work, you know, and they're like, oh, shit, well, now that I see that, maybe I do have faith in the process. And, you know, it always gets them, right? And it's like, it's not me that's doing it. I just understand how to apply it. You know, like, I can't take credit for anything that, you know, this man did, but I can understand it. I understand it well enough to perform it for myself, right? And I also understand it in a manner, like I know how to program it for other people. Like I know when somebody has low recoverability versus high recoverability, like how they can adapt what they can adapt to. That's my job as a coach. My job as a coach isn't to fucking say, oh, I'm going to make you this and this and this. No, I'm going to show you the method. We're going to run it as is, and we're going to make tweaks where we need to. Right? Like there's a system to it. There's a system to everything. Systems can't be argued with if they work. It's like you, like when you put me on the social media game, right? Like I'm not huge on social media, like I'm nobody, right? But just since you put me on the plan, right? Like how to fucking grow it, dude, like I've had so much more interaction with, you know, online clients to build like a, you know, an online app.
And it's simple.
It's simple, it's very easy. I was like, how the fuck did I not do this all day? Like all you gotta do is, they don't even have to be like sappy posts, dude. They just have to be like well thought out, like a message that you want to deliver, right? And so on. Well, it's the same thing with training. Like find something that is specific to what you're trying to do, and then apply it. Apply the system.
Simple. Add your spin to it, bro. Give your story. Show the people. Like Like, and I think that's why these talks are beneficial, because people can see us in a different light than what we're posting. Like, they'll be like, oh yeah, these dudes, like, yeah, they lift, they work out, they do this. He spends time with his daughter, and then he does whatever with his girl.
Snowboards, so you snowboard.
Yeah, he snowboards. He's cool. But then they get to see us like this, and they're like, oh wow, these dudes have more depth. Like,
well, it's because you see somebody outside of their element, right? And you see that we're both from completely different walks of life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I think that's what kind of puts it, like, everybody has a story, right? And I always use this on all my clients, like, and they're like, oh, well, I went through this and I went through that. I'm like, dude, not to be a dick, but everybody's got a sob story, dude. Like, I have one, we all have one, but like, what are you doing right now?
Yeah.
You know, like, who are you, and how are you using that to, get what you want to get?
Yeah. And like, for me, like, I tell my people, my guys, like, we all have a story. I do the same thing. I tell my people, I have my story. What about your story is helping you, and what can you utilize to your advantage?
What did you learn from that story?
Yeah. What can you use to your advantage? Because everything, like, life happens for us, dog. So everything that you went through in life was for a purpose.
Yeah.
It was to show you a lesson. It was to help you improve and help you get stronger.
Builds character.
How can you be better? How can you be better utilizing all these experiences, dog? Like, for me, I was kidnapped as a baby, bro. I was thrown in a dumpster when I was like, I think my mom told me I was like 1 year old.
Damn, you're that dumpster baby, bro?
I was that dumpster baby, dog.
Bro, that's crazy.
So I was thrown in there, crawling around for several hours. I come back, some guy calls the cops, finds me, my mom's, and at this point my brother's practicing Satanism and all this crazy shit.
Yeah.
So, like, we all have a crazy story, but then it's like coming back, they rescued me, cool, I'm cut up, I'm bleeding from head to toe, but it's like, what from that can I utilize? I'm like, cool, I'm
I was
invincible.
a toddler and I made it, dog.
I'm invincible. I'm invincible. Like, I'm unstoppable. Literally. Like, at the chance where I had literally no chance to live, God gave me the will to come back, and I'm like, I'm here, and I'm unstoppable.
God got you through it, right? Yeah,
I'm unstoppable.
That's
literally.
why.
And it's like, what can I utilize?
Yep.
How can I use that to my advantage? How can I use all the crazy shit I went through when my brother was locked up in and out of prison, seeing him arrested in front of me? Like, how can I use that to help other people get through whatever they're getting through?
Yeah. I guess I can understand that. Like, for me, like, I guess on my end of things, like, I never claim that I can help anybody's life, right?
Yeah.
But I can help them in a certain aspect that I know help me.
Yeah.
Right. Like, the demographic of clients that I look for. This is for anybody who's watching this. Like, I don't want the guy who fucking wants to be in like not to like shit on your shit, because I think what you do is beautiful, dude. I really do.
No. We have different styles, bro, but I get you.
But like, I don't want the person who wants to fucking vibrate at a higher frequency. I want the guy or the woman who's so fucking pissed off and so fucking hurt with something.
Yeah.
And the only place they can take it out, if they like, instead of taking it out in the world, like me, like, I'm a very violent individual, right?
Yeah.
So that's why lifting weights helped me.
Yeah.
I was always in fights. Like, I want that person who has that fucking rage, that sadness, and show them that they can use it to make something beautiful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what I like to teach. So like, I don't ever claim that I can, fix anybody's life, but I can show them how mine is very manageable now. And how I can keep doing better, utilizing, my weights, my boxing routines, shit like that. And if I can provide that for other people, I will. And it's not like working out's my only thing, dude. Like, I play art, dude. I draw art. I play guitar. Those are outlets that I have that put me into like a flow state.
Yeah.
Like, it was for me just to vibe. Like being with my daughter. I love to go shoot guns and shit. Like, I'm a marksman, dude. That's what I do. Like, I learned. I was a marksmanship coach when I was in the Marine Corps, dude. Like, I fucking love weapons. Right. This makes me sound real psycho. Like, violent individual lifts weights, loves weapons. That's all they got from that, dude. I swear. That's what everybody's like. That dude's a fucking creep.
He's crazy as fuck.
Yeah, dude. Like, those are my outlets. I like animals more than people, which is probably why I'm so good with horses, why I'm so good with animals, with dogs, because they're animals. They survive off instinct, and at some point everybody relies on their instinct to get them through something, and like, so if I can help train animals who rely only on instinct, I'd love to think that helping people who have feelings and emotions, that you can visibly relate to, right? It's almost a selfish thing helping people, because like it makes you feel good about yourself too,
For sure.
Yeah, so I get what you're saying. I think what you do is beautiful, man. Like, I'm not trying to hate on it at all.
No. And I get you, bro. We have totally different things. Like,
yeah,
I'm such a big nerd when it comes to like law of attraction, like, vibrations, frequency, because everything's a frequency. And like, I went like head first into all of that shit, and that's what I love. Like, I love geeking out on Dr. Joe, Bruce Lipton, like all these different like speakers, because like they're scientists. Like they use science to back what they're saying
of human emotions and shit.
Yeah, so I'm like,
yeah, I'm big on philosophy too. I'm the guy who says, but instead, like, who am I to help people do that? Like everything that I've ever accomplished, I give to God, dude. Like he's the one who kept me alive and got me through things. You know, like I like to think. I think a lot of people, they pep themselves up like, well, I got through this, I did that, I did this, and it's like, did you, or did God do that for you?
Yeah.
You know, like, or the universe, or whatever you want to believe in. God. It's like, I don't care if you believe in an alien with a fucking rock, you know, whatever. But like, for me, you know, I don't know how I've lived through the things that I've lived through if God wasn't watching out for me, man. Yeah. You know, and that's, you know, there's two things that are most important to me, and that's my prayer and that's my daughter. Yep. You know, and those two things, as long as I have those, you know, I know I'll be okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I mean, I think there's just like you said, two different, completely walks of life here, but we're both doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You know?
We're just helping people.
Yeah.
We're helping people.
That's what we have in common. We love to help people.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, and it's just everything, bro. Like everything that we've been able to like talk about today is just fucking sick, bro. Like, and this is what people need to hear.
I was tripping out. I was like, how are we gonna fucking make this last an hour, dude?
Well, look at that,
coming
bro.
Up on 5 minutes left, dude.
No,
crazy,
man,
it's a beautiful thing.
Trust
dude.
me, and I love what you do, bro. Like what you do is incredible. It's beautiful. Like it's something that everyone needs. Like everyone needs a coach because we all need someone to help us through something that we can't see.
Yeah.
Our clients can't see the struggles or like the little things that they're doing incorrectly. We're there to be like, like, tweak this, do this, cool. And then after that, they got some value from it. And that's what we're doing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll even go a step further. I mean, I don't even know if they necessarily need a coach. What they need is perspective. You know, they need to. I think that's what a lot of everybody needs. Not just, you know, people that I teach, but myself included. You know, sometimes you got to take a step back and stop seeing it through your eyes and see how somebody else sees it. Like, what's an outsider's view looking in? Because it's going to be one of two ways. They're either going to give you some real insightful shit or something that just is not true. Yeah. Right. But either way, you need to hear it because you need to know, like, okay, if he sees nothing but bullshit, I should probably stay away from him because he doesn't see anything that's like, it doesn't help. You know. But you do need people who are going to tell you what you need to hear. You need to show people what you need to see, right? Not what you want. Yeah. Right? Like you need to. Like, sometimes you just got to simply be told you fucking suck, bro. Like you know.
Sometimes you need that. Sometimes you do. Like
I tell people that all the time. It's like you don't necessarily need a life coach, man. Like if you feel like you do, man. But you just need to get your ass whooped a little bit, you know? Like, that's all you need. You need some act right in your life. That's what you need,
The truth hurts, but it's the truth for a reason, and it hurts for a reason.
Yeah, discipline is freedom, dude. You know what I mean?
That's all it is, bro.
And I would know because I was the most undisciplined motherfucker you've ever met, dude. Like, I was arrested twice before I was even 18, dude. You know, like, I was fucking strung out on. It'd be quick for you to ask me what drugs I haven't done in this world, dude. You know, and like nobody would believe that I lived that kind of life if I didn't tell them. Because like now, like, dude, I drink chicken shakes to get my protein in for the day, bro. It's disgusting, right? To some people, to me, I look forward to it.
Yeah.
Like nobody would think that, you know, you come from somewhere, not just me, but anybody. Nobody would think you came from somewhere, right? Yeah. And then when they listen to your story, like, would you believe that this program right here, this was not sought out, this wasn't planned out in a fucking gym. My coach doctored this program in prison. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, he fucking found a way to program weights while locked up, and then he got out, shared it with the world, and it blew up. And you know, this is what I'm a part of now. Yeah. You know, actively a part of. Yeah. And you know, I resonate with people who have, you know, darker pasts like us, right? Because you just can relate to it. You know, and you can see that sometimes somebody else's life is worse than yours, and if they made it through, there's for sure a way that you can. You know. You learn something from them, dude.
You learn something new every day, and if you could be with someone who's been through worse, be like,
he's got it, then I got it.
Cool.
Yeah. She's got it, then I got it. Exactly. Absolutely, dude.
Exactly, bro. Well, this has been a dope ass conversation, bro. So I appreciate your time, brother. Thank you.
No, I appreciate yours, brother.
And you know, we'll catch all of you guys next time.
Hit us up for training, dog.
Yeah.